Good afternoon. Today we are going to study be going to plus verb. That is the future. Let's start by studying the meaning. So, we use be going to plus verb for future actions. For example, I'm going to move to another house tomorrow. The future action, move. The future, tomorrow. Let's look at another example. We are going to buy a house next month. The future, next month. The verb, buy. Let's look at one more example. They are going to get married next year. The future, next year. The action, get married. Now let's study the form of be going to plus verb. So, remember that the be auxiliary has three forms in the present. That is, are, am. And the form changes depending on the person. So, for example, I am, he is, it is, you are, she is, they are, the student is, the teachers are. Okay, so let's look now at the form of be going to plus verb. So, here's my sample sentence. They are going to eat dinner. First, we use the present form of the auxiliary verb be. So, again, is am, is, are. Here, are is the be auxiliary. Next, we use the present participle form of the verb go. So, go, going. Okay. And lastly, we use the base form of the verb. So, eat, eat. No change. Let's look at one more example. He is going to bounce the ball. Okay, the be auxiliary is go, going, and the base form of the verb bounce, bounce. Okay, now we're going to look at how to negate be going to plus verb. So, here's my sample sentence. He's going to feel good. He's going to feel good. Let's study how to negate. To negate, we add not after the be auxiliary. So, he is not going to feel good. The be auxiliary is, the negation comes after it. Let's look at another example. Remember that we're going to add not after the be auxiliary. So we have two students here, and they are going to play. They're going to play. They are not going to play. The negation comes after are, the be auxiliary. Let's study now how to make statements, contracted statements, negation, and contracted negation. So our sample sentence, he is going to study. Contracted statements, he's going to study. Okay, the statement, the contraction occurs between the be auxiliary and the noun he. So he is, he's. Okay, let's look at negation now. He is not going to study. Remember that negation comes after the be auxiliary. And contracted negation, he isn't going to study. The contraction occurs between the be auxiliary and not. Okay, let's look at some more examples. They are going to shop. Contracted statement. They're going to shop. Negation. They are not going to shop. And contracted negation. They aren't going to shop. Let's look at another example. She is going to go camping. Contracted statement. She is going to go camping. Negation. She is not going to go camping. Contracted negation. She isn't going to go camping. Okay, now let's look at how to make questions with be going to plus verb. So, before we start, let's review our WH words. We have 6 of them. We use how for manner. How are you going to school? By car. We use when for time. When are you going to school? At 5 p.m. We use why for reason. Why are you going to study? Just because. We use who for people and person. Who is going to study? She is going to study. And we use what for things. What are you going to study? I'm going to study it. And we use where for places. Where are you going to study? I'm going to study on 8th Street. Okay, so let's study now how to make yes-no questions and WH questions. When we make yes-no questions, we move the be auxiliary before the subject. For example, she is going to play. Here the be auxiliary is. So, yes, no question. Is she going to play? Here remove the be auxiliary is before the subject she. So, she is she going to play? Now, to make an information question or a WH question, we add a WH word to a yes no question. So, is she going to play? WH question. Why is she going to play? Let's look at another example. They are going to work. The be auxiliary are. Yes no question. Are they going to work? WH question. Where are they going to work? Let's look at another example. I am going to drive there. Okay, be auxiliary am. Yes no question. Am I going to drive there? WH question. When am I going to drive there? Okay, let's do some exercises, okay? Let's do a practice one and then I'll let you practice on your own a few times. So here's my statement. The dog is going to eat. We're going to make a yes no question, so we're going to move the be auxiliary before the subject. Is the dog going to eat? Remember, move the be auxiliary before the noun or subject to make a yes no question. Now we're going to make a WH question for thing. The WH word for thing is what. What is the dog going to eat? Remember to add a WH word before the be auxiliary. WH words are who, what, where, when, why, and how. Okay, let's do some practice questions. Okay, the statement, he is going to study. Take 5 seconds to make a yes no question. The yes no question, is he going to study? Now make a WH question for reason. Take 5 seconds. WH question for reason. Why is he going to study? Okay, let's practice another one. Let's do another practice question. My statement, he is going to move out. Make a yes no question in 5 seconds. Yes no question. Is he going to move out? Now, take 5 seconds to make a WH question about time. WH question about time. When is he going to move out? Okay, here's another practice question. She is going to go canoeing. Take 5 seconds to make a yes no question. Yes no question. Is she going to go canoeing? Now let's make a WH question about place. Take 5 seconds. Okay, WH question about place. Where is she going to go canoeing? Okay, another practice question. Here's a statement. I'm going to go surfing. Take 5 seconds to make a yes no question. Okay, yes no question. Am I going to go surfing? Now take 5 seconds to make a WH question about place. WH question about place. Where am I going to go surfing? Okay, one more practice question. You are going to go to school. Okay, take 5 seconds to make a yes no question. Okay, and the yes no question. Are you going to school? Now take 5 seconds to make a WH question about manner. Okay, WH question about manner. How are you going to go to school? Okay, let's study other uses with be going to plus verb. So, there are two uses. The first use is for previously made plans. For example, they're going to get married. This is a planned action. They planned it out. Okay, let's look at another example. We can also use be going to plus verb for making predictions based on evidence. Okay, for example, it is going to rain because the clouds are dark. I look at the clouds, the evidence, the clouds are dark. My prediction, it is going to rain. So, quick summary. We use be going to plus verb for future actions. Tomorrow, I'm going to have pancakes. The form. So here's my sample sentence. I'm going to play cards. We use the present form of the auxiliary verb be. So am is are. Here the be auxiliary is am. We use the present participle form of the verb go, so going. And we use the base form of the verb. So study, study, play, play cards. Also remember to negate, I'm going to add not after the be auxiliary. So I am not going to play cards. Okay, to make questions, my sample sentence, you are going to play soccer. We move the be auxiliary before the subject. You are going to play soccer? Are you going to play soccer? And to make a WH question, I just add a WH word. So when are you going to play soccer? Okay, this concludes my presentation. If you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, please email me, and I look forward to seeing you in class. And here are my image references. Thank you so much for watching.